Welcome to State of the Union, or as we've seen, what do we have got it?
SOTU. And
Number 7.
Web 7. SOTU Web 7. Here we are, good to go this week. So good evening, everybody.
Yeah,
Friday
evening for you. Tuesday morning for us at the
catch
recording.
up, yeah, that's all right. Make sure that they can cut out all the rubbish.
Exactly right. Yeah, I haven't seen them cut any of that rubbish out
yet. We've been pretty good, I think.
Yeah,
that was a good choice for the two of us.
I reckon.
Absolutely fantastic.
Hey, look, we're getting some good feedback actually from people. So whether it's too long, too short, all of those sorts of things, but it's coming around well, I think. So,
yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. I mean, it's our first time, so be gentle. But so be nice. Be nice.
Carry on.
Anyway, moving on. Yes, where we go. So round six.
Done.
Round 6.
Done and dusted. Moving into let's just jump straight into it. All right. Results. So I'm using the laptop today. Not printing out my reports.
You still pulled the reports.
I pulled the reports.
So Pete's pulled some reports.
Easy on, mate.
I love it.
Easy.
loves a good report, old Pete. So that's all right.
So results round for under 12s starting up. So Uni took the win over Woodville. You got Burnside, Elizabeth Juniors with Burnside picking up that one. Brighton at home against Barossa, picking up that one there. And Old Collegians against Southern Suburbs. A couple of bigger scores happening in some of the junior grades, but that's equally good development activity and stuff for these youngsters as well to be stepping through that. Very
much so. And this time of year, just like with all the teams, a couple of sicknesses in an under 12 team, and that makes a massive difference if they're key players. So
absolutely,
that's how it works.
Onto the 14s, Woodville picking up the win over Adelaide University, so the flip against the versus the under 12s there. Unfortunately, a forfeit in the Burnside Lizzie, so Lizzie 14's not getting their team together. I think probably there to play,
but didn't have the numbers
for the competition points.
That's fair enough. I was going to say I was out there, saw them all running around, so I was surprised to but that's good.
And good to see the opposition clubs coming to the party on that, and sharing some players and making sure these youngsters.
Very much so. We'll touch on that a bit when we get to seniors a bit later too.
Brighton Barossa with Brighton taking the win over there. You refereed that game, I think. I was there watching that
14s, guys did really, really well. Very exciting game. It's a good hard deck down at Brighton, so there's always a lot of running. Which is great when you're refereeing 2 games before you have to go and play in the afternoon. But that's good fun.
And then Old Coles 14's picking up the win against Southern Suburbs there. In the 16s, the Swarm back in. They had a forfeit, I think, the week before, but looking strong against Adelaide University with the score there.
They pick up a win. That's good. Yeah, they. I think they struggled for numbers last week, didn't they? So good to see them back in the hunt.
Yep. Burnside picking up the win over Onkaparinga in the 16s there. Brighton again picking up their win against Barossa. And then another forfeit there, unfortunately, in the 16. So Southern Suburbs and Port are struggling on some of their numbers in that combined team there. A bit of activity happening around that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
some development happening in that space. Hopefully we can sort that out before the end of the season. Yeah.
And then on to the 18s. Onkers 18s picking up the win against Burnside there, which is great to see. We've talked about the strength that Onkers have got in their 18s team.
Very much so. A lot of them transitioning to the seniors too.
Yeah, absolutely. Brighton picking up their 18s win against Barossa, and Southern Suburbs in the 18s picking the one off Old Coles, which is good to see for the South 18s as well.
Absolutely.
Which is really good to see. So let's step right back onto the seniors. We'll just keep it flowing, I think, this morning. For the women, we've got Burnside that's picked up the win over Onkaparinga. Not a big scoreline there, though.
Not a big scoreline at all. In fact, I got there. I got to Burnside just after the ladies had played. I was having a chat with the Onkers girls who were very, very positive about their game, really excited. George has done a great job. They got some fantastic numbers. We've spoken about them before. Everybody just really chuffed about the way that game went down. So really good.
Unfortunately, Elizabeth women unable to field a team there against Southern Suburbs. And look, to be fair, South's women, they've picked up a raw deal at the start of the season, similar to this year. So out of 6 rounds, they've only had 3 sort of active games so far. So they're pretty disappointed, but really hungry to get into the season and get their season on a roll.
Understandably so. They're a very strong side, and anybody we're out there, we want to play rugby every weekend. So it's understandable that they're unhappy, and it's not like the clubs aren't doing work around their teams. It would be great if if we could get just a few more girls in each area of the city to come out and play in their area, which would be great. Yeah.
Adelaide University picking up their win against the Woodville women, and then Brighton over the Barossa Rams women down at Brighton there. In the third grade, Old Collegians picking up the win on North Torrens. North Torrens back in their matches, and I think they'll start from actually this weekend. North Torrens had their first home match for the year as well.
I was going to say that was at North Torrens, at Dry Creek, wasn't
Correct.
it? So,
yeah.
that's great.
And a close match there in the third grade for Burnside and Onkaparinga, which is interesting. So they've played each other already this year, Onkers and Burnside, with Onkers posting a pretty big win over Burnside previously. Difficult when, as much as we try and keep the teams together when they're away and primarily when they're at home, in terms of the draw, I think that was a difficult one for Onkers on the day, because they were playing, the reserves and first were playing at Riverside Oval at Port Adelaide.
Right. Yes, okay.
And they had a late-ish, sort of a 12:40 kickoff down at Burnside, which made it very difficult for any of those players to be able to back up
for the twos. Yeah, definitely.
So on to the, let's talk reserve grade. So reserve grade, Woodville picking up their win over Adelaide University. Burnside over Elizabeth. We'll have a chat. Did you participate in that one? Reserves and first?
I was getting ready to, but I have to have a big shout out to Brighton and to Burnside.
Yeah.
Brighton, absolutely fantastic. I hit up Richard Wosley during the week.
Yeah.
Said to him, look, we got sickness, we got injury, and the Army boys are away. So we're really struggling numbers wise.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of new boys in, which is nice. So our numbers are starting to come up, but they're very, very fresh.
Yeah.
So said to him, look, mate, what have you got? If your thirds aren't playing, hit the boys up. Let's see what we can do. And a very big thank you to James Edwards, who came out. He was working Saturday morning, came out, drove out to Burnside to come and have a game. He actually ended up playing in both our B and A grades. So he put his hand up to help out off the bench, and he ended up with 2 full games. Cracker. So massive shout out to James Edwards. Really, and
equally, I mean, you'd done similar sort of work the weekend before when you had Elizabeth at home that you weren't able to get your reserve grade. You tried getting.
We tried and we struggled.
Like
but just on that same point, also want to say a big thank you to a bunch of the guys from Burnside, so the Burnside thirds. After their game, came across and sat on the bench and played for us as well. So we had Declan O'Callaghan, who came over to come and help out, and a couple of other boys.
Mate, it's been a while since he's played some reserve grade, eh?
Yeah, Declan. Maybe, but he's looking good. He's lost a bit of weight. He's looking fit, man. He's looking fit. Yeah, there's a picture. I think there's a picture of him on Facebook in a Lizzie jersey. So a really big thank you to those guys for helping out and making the games happen. Because we didn't want to come out with just 10 or 11 guys, or have to forfeit, or have to forfeit 10 minutes in because we picked an injury or something like that. So a really big thank you to those 2 clubs for helping us and really being community minded around making sure that rugby's happening rather than forfeits. And we know how frustrating it is, as we spoke about the women, for forfeits and for clubs to get on board and help each other out. It's much appreciated. So a big thank you to those 2 clubs.
And you're continuing any of that sort of work. Like we said, the weekend before when you were at home and you were unable to get your reserves up, you just couldn't get the support from the other clubs on that particular weekend with the other
whoever the third grade coaches are out there, I think by the time the Army boys are back, they're going to have my number deleted and blocked. But opportunity for those players to play when they're not when they have a bye weekend, and then opportunity for us to keep the fixtures going rather than forfeit.
Okay. So Brighton posting pretty reasonable win over the Barossa reserve grade there. Onkaparinga picking up their win over Port down at Riverside Oval, and then Southern Suburbs and Old Collegians with Old Collegians reserves having their win there. Straight on to the Premier grade. Close one actually. Woodville and Adelaide University 52-43.
I saw the Woodies. That was played at Burnside.
It was.
So we were all in the club rooms after that. Had a chat with the Woodville boys, and they were happy obviously to come away with the win. But they definitely didn't have it all their own way through that day. So that was good to see.
Burnside and Lizzie, big one, mate.
It was a big one, but it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of, like, the boys were running around with smiles on their faces. As I said to you before, our boys are all our rugby heads. We've lost a lot this year. We had the army boys are away, so we're filling up those gaps with players who have no rugby experience, to a point where we had to stop the game and apologise to Blair. Sorry, Blair again. One of our brand new players who didn't realise he needed to wrap his arms when he made a tackle.
Right.
Yeah. So, but everybody
Just
understands.
The fundamentals, right?
It's, one of those things where, as a coach, you go, "I'm pretty sure we went through this." But anyway. But and we didn't want to be that side who was slowing things down and just trying to get 90 points, because what's the point? I mean, we've come out to play rugby. The boys drove an hour to get to Burnside. Like that's play. So we were speeding things. In fact, there was a point where I think I asked the referee for a penalty because Burnside were being slow taking their conversion kick, and we were ready for the kickoff. You gotta have a crack.
Oh, no.
But no, it was good fun. It was a good outing. Yes. Burnside are an outfit, particularly when the team they're playing against has gaps and weaknesses in defence. So it was a fairly easy trot out for them, but there was a lot that our guys could learn from that experience, being young and initial players. So
good.
Very good.
Port Adelaide and Onkaparinga. So Onkaparinga picking up that win there in the Premier Grade. That was the live streamed match. Check out some of the highlights and things from that one, because I think chatting with some of the Onkers boys afterwards, it was pretty close through majority of the match. Onkers got some late tries that posted the score a bit higher, and really well done to them for travelling well. But I think we had, I think Port had them rattled early on in the game.
It was tight for a long time there. Absolutely.
First points I think went to Port from memory, and so Onkaparinga were regrouping, and I don't think we're expecting such a tough outing. But that's the beauty of rugby,
Absolutely.
And that's the travels and stuff.
You never know that it's a funny ball, the way it bounces and the way it travels in the air.
So well done to both clubs. Club rooms and things were full afterwards and things as well, and well done to Onkers for the travels and picking up those few wins in their senior men's as well. And then Brighton again posted a pretty big score over the Barossa Rams in that first grade side there. And then we also had Southern Suburbs, so they were hosting all day Old Collegians. Old Collegians picking up the win on their Premier Grade side there, but 50-31. It's not an unreasonable score there, right? South is a good
and
outfit.
Really exciting. I was down. We'll chat about that in a second. I was down at Souths on the weekend. Souths was saying that they let Old Coles blow out to quite a comfortable lead. 20 odd points earlier. So really that's that lead. So in the first 15-20, Old Coles blew out to a lead, and suddenly Souths were back and they were all over them. So obviously just a little slow to wake up from the initial kickoff. So South definitely in it.
And put the rattles into Old Collegians as well, which
very
is good.
much so.
Yeah,
very much
really
so.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, I was down at Souths on Saturday night. They had something. Actually, let me pull my phone out here. So they had South's Got Talent on Saturday night. Before we go into this, I will say congrats to the winners, Jack and Dave.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Jack and Dave pulled out the win. Unfortunately, I can't get that video up. It was on the Insta Grizzle.
Oh, was it? Yes.
So I didn't save it, unfortunately. But we did have a hashtag Rusa community. Yeah. Don't forget hashtag.
Is this the way?
This one. It's there. It's hashtag Rusa community. Send it in. And anyway, so bunch of the Kiwi boys after the came in, and it wasn't one of the entries, but they came walking in through the doors. Obviously, I mean, T-Bone loves it. Loves to be in the spotlight. So it was fantastic. So he doesn't
have much talent, that fellow, but
I tell you what, the walls were shaking. They came in, and let's have a look. I'm not going to give away too much.
Cool.
We'll have a look at the submission. Here we go.
Yeah. Tyrone needs some pants that fit him, mate.
He's not playing this season, mate. Give him a break.
Yes, he is.
He's actually got a black eye in there if you look closely enough.
That's good, huh? big pukana.
It is great. No, I didn't grow up in a Kiwi dominant environment. In fact, I don't think I knew a Kiwi till I was about 20 odd, and haven't been exposed to that very much. But always had a great respect and admiration for a haka. It's something that's so powerful and so emotive, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So, great send in there. Thank you to the guys from Souths and for hashtag. So that was a goodie. That was a good one. Speaking of community,
yes,
it was nice to see you getting out and about to the barbers with your son this weekend, mate. It's great. I like to see the new fresh cut for the
check the kid, eh?
There he is. Look at that, huh? Right. Jeez, mate.
He looks remarkably like our mailman.
Mate, he's I was going to say, he's definitely better looking than you are, mate. So, that's fair enough. I added Jody on Facebook today because I wanted, yesterday, because I wanted to call him and get him on the podcast.
Did you?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll do that.
That's right. Jody's like, who's Jason Steelheim? I'm like, some dude I work with.
Don't worry about it. Just ignore it.
I'm like, what's he trying to add you for? Dear.
Yeah, no. So
let's before we step on, let's have a look at ladders quickly. Hey, so where are we here? Let's have a look at the under 12s, 14s, 16s, 18s ladders, and we'll go through the seniors. All right. So let's get the swipey over. So in the 12s, Brighton dominating. Thank you. Brighton dominating top spot there. Old Collegians in second, and Adelaide University. So the Brighton under 12s having 6 from 6 wins in those first 6 matches. Wow. So doing very well there. And in the 14s, Brighton again getting their 6 from 6 with Burnside and Barossa in the running in there. With holding the 3rd spot there. Elizabeth and Onka's not far off. I mean, a couple of wins from those guys, and they'll be back right up in the running there as well. Onto the 16s. And the 16s here again, Brighton sitting on top there with 5 wins, and Burnside just behind by 1 bonus point in there. With Old Coles holding the 3rd spot there, and Onka's in the mix with the 16s there too. And then on our 18s, Brighton again, their 18s getting their 6 from 6 with Barossa 18s and Burnside sitting in the 3rd spot, but only just being pipped for the Onkaparinga 18s, so on the same comp points, but just a little bit better on their for and against.
That's great. And all the way through those juniors, that it's tight.
Yeah,
I mean, it's exciting. Anything could happen on match day, particularly with juniors. There's school camps and there's someone has a tickle in their throat and mum won't let them come out and play because she's worried they're going to get, influenza A, which is understandable.
Absolutely.
So, these things have such an effect week to week on the junior games, and it's great to see that anybody on any given day could pick up a win.
Pull out the win, that's
Hopefully we can see we can see a little more competition for that top tier. Looks like Brighton seem to be dominating along the top there.
Yeah, at the moment.
And it's nice to have a dominant team, but it'd be nice to see a little more competition. We should have a little challenge, see whoever of those juniors beats Brighton in the next one. We should invite them in, get a day off school, come and have their captain can come and have a chat on the podcast.
Yeah. Good idea.
Why not? There we go.
All right, so 3rd grade ladders, Old Collegians sitting on the top there with Brighton in second just now, but they've only played 4 out of the 5 matches. 4 out of the 6, right? So they picked up a couple of points there. And Onkaparinga there in 3rd spot at the moment for 3rd grade. If we jump on to reserve grade here, so in reserves, Old Collegians getting 6 from 6 so far, so they're being shown. We've talked about their backline and their dominance there, but as we've said, they've had a couple of close matches, not just against who were some of the top performing sides last year, but the likes of Southern Suburbs and things like that as well, really giving them a push for their money. So Brighton in second there, and Southern Suburbs sitting in 3rd for reserve grade. If we step back here, let's have a look at the women.
I don't even know why I'm looking over your shoulder at this, because I can't see any of that without my glasses on. But that's all right.
Adelaide University having 6 from 6 so far, so they're proving to be strong in that women's competition.
We knew that was going to be the case. Snuck their win against Souths last week. pity there with the draw. That would have been nice to see Souths having sort of 4 solid hit-outs before they had a crack at uni.
Yeah, that's right.
But as we move towards that second round, hopefully that gap will start to narrow between uni and the rest of the teams.
Yeah, and Southern Suburbs, sitting in the second spot, probably expected as well in Burnside there, and look, really great to see Onkaparinga occupying that 4th spot at the moment. Their second year with their women's team back in the running.
Very much so. We chatted earlier about George and the hard work the girls are doing down there. So
really great to see. And then we'll be on to our Premier Grade ladder after 6 rounds. So Burnside sitting on the top spot there with Brighton in second spot. Still the same competition points, but just the for and against is helping Burnside there by about 20 points in the points differential. Old Collegians in third, only 1 point off, and Onkaparinga in 4th spot there. And then Southern Suburbs on the same number of points as Onkers, but again some for and against, and then Port coming into the ranks.
Fair enough. Now, funny question I heard this weekend, because mostly we should know this now, but with the change of finals and the change of whatever have you, a couple of guys asking what's the benefit of ending top or minor premiers this year as opposed to before, because everybody's going to be in finals and blah blah blah.
Yep.
But ending top still gives you.
Oh, well, you get the second chance stuff. So for example, if you end up top in first grade men's.
Correct.
So you don't play the first weekend of finals.
All right, so you get straight through to...
So you go straight through.
Yeah.
Then you play in week 2. If you win that match in the second week, you don't play third week and you go straight to grand final. So there's second chance opportunities.
If you lose in the second week, though, you still got a chance to go in the third week to get through. So you get free pass and second chance. So, okay, excellent. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. So, you really do want to end first, because then you get a week off.
Yep.
And then you have a play and you can have another week off. And we know how valuable that can be at that point.
Well, it can be.
When the body's tired and
sore. But there's other teams that perform well on consistency as well, So when you have a week off and sometimes the boy go, we're not
absolutely, and then you end up with a 2-week break, and it takes you 15 minutes to get into the game in a grand final.
So swings and roundabouts, but that's the potential advantage of finishing on top of the table. So.
Absolutely.
Right, cool. So what else do we have happening in the past week or so?
Well, we've got next week. This weekend coming up, obviously none of those ladders are going to change.
No, that's right.
Coming into the bye weekend, so
long weekend for everyone. So take some time, relax a bit, get away with family.
Queen's birthday.
Exactly.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you to Elizabeth.
Royal Sovereign.
Elizabeth, isn't she? Oh, Lizzie.
Oh, Lizzie.
Very kind of her for having her birthday. And
I don't think it's actually her birthday.
It's not even anywhere near her birthday, right? But we can celebrate it with her, so that's great. Gives an opportunity for that. And what do you got planned for the weekend, mate?
Not much actually. I'm going to bank some family time.
Oh, nice.
And so I can take more withdrawals as
it is.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people in the rugby community are doing that. It's been a busy sort of 7-8 weeks of pre-season and stuff.
Yeah.
So get the bank statement up so you can make those withdrawals for the next however many weeks before we have another bye. But
exactly.
That's
but we've got really busy time coming up. So after the holidays there, we're planning our way. It'll be kind of the last week before Gold-Blooded Tour starts. So you'll start seeing some advertising and locking in our locations and things for that. So that's the Rugby World Cup. Good old Bill.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
How often do you get any World Cup?
Yeah.
Like in an opportunity to go and take a picture with it, spend time with it.
Yeah.
Just touch it. Why you wouldn't go is beyond me.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen one World Cup, and that's it's the same one that's coming down now, and it's so exciting.
Yeah.
Do it. Get out there.
So keep an eye out on the socials for that. Make sure you share that amongst your friends and things. As we mentioned, we're coming through Cooper Pedy into Port Augusta, a couple of days in the Adelaide area.
Yep.
And then down to Mount Gambier as well. So
it's going to be really exciting.
So we'll be around with them. A few classics that are joining us there. So not locked in yet, but just for those that are watching the cast here, we should be able to see the likes of Radiki Samo, Matt Cobain.
Now, Radiki Samo had world
The IRB Try of the Year.
IRB World Try of the Year.
Of the last 2011 World Cup.
2011 World Cup, that was it.
Where he's pinched it from about 60 metres away. I don't know where he found his pace, but still at 35 or 36 or something, he was
brilliant, mate. Brilliant, so good. And it seems to like the wind direction doesn't seem to bother him too much with that giant parachute that he carries, right?
Yeah.
So that's really exciting to have him down. So that's awesome.
And we've got Huxley, and then we've got Haas as well, Adam Fryer.
Fantastic. Yeah. So that's going to be really.
So that's what we're looking at. May change, but look, some familiar faces and things like that to kind of be a part of that.
Now you sorted a lot of that out while you were up Sydney last week.
Yeah, I was in Sydney last week on Thursday, right?
Awesome, mate. So what were you doing? I mean, obviously there was some gold-blooded stuff you were doing up there around the World Cup.
Yeah, so
catching up with some people there.
Yeah, well, it was a meeting around the Rugby Explorer platform.
All right.
And how that all works, and of 33 pages of enhancements and fixes and all those sorts of things.
I mean, we know it's brand new. We know there's been frustrations in the community, or there's always going to be.
But a lot of feedback as well, and I think for the most part, people understand it and are seeing the merits in it. We've just got to keep going on these enhancements.
You've got to iron out the kinks in it, absolutely. So by the end of the season, by next season, it's easier.
Yeah, so we spent a day in a room with reps from all the other state unions and things as well. So good to catch up with them. But I tend to spend any of our break time. I go upstairs and I go and bug all the community team. So sort of with Grippy and Pino and sort of Jess and Lauren and Laura and Izzy and that whole team there. They're really great. Jamie. Cam, I saw Cam by Skype. He was in Queensland or something like that. So this whole community team, I mean, we're fortunate we've got good relationships into there, so we can help get some
they're great. I mean, Rugby Australia has been fantastic. The number of Rugby Australia staff we get to see down here on a fairly regular basis is awesome. The support that we get from them is really
and
great.
that community team in particular, are really supportive and stuff of what we're doing. As is the whole team.
Awesome, man. Now you managed to catch up with Matty Pyne.
I did,
upstairs there. So, I mean, we may as well. We should actually start introducing all the guys who have influence into what we have down here.
Yeah.
To you out there in the community, understand who we're working with and what we're doing and what they do.
Yeah.
So
I had a bunch of questions for Pyne. Put him in the spotlight, and
awesome.
So check out the video.
Let's have a look.
All right, so I'm here at Rugby Australia. Been here on Thursday, chatting here with Matt Pyne. So you're part of the cleaning team here, right? Is that right?
Yeah, basically.
So like Pyne clean?
Yeah, just mop the floors and do a bit of vacuuming.
Attaboy. Now, come on, what's your real role? What do you do?
Services administrator. So I look after referees, coaches, volunteers, player registration, a lot of stuff with the learning centre. And basically just want to get kids on the field and people running the game.
Awesome,
in a safe environment.
What's your favourite part?
Running tournaments.
Yeah.
So also do a bit of small tournament management.
Yep. So we've seen you down at the NRC Division 2 last year, and hopefully we'll see you back down there again this year.
Absolutely.
I came to this interview earlier, mate, but you were at lunch or something. You were playing a game. What were you doing?
Yeah, so I was just doing my normal sprints at lunchtime.
Sprints at lunchtime, whatever, mate. I heard you were playing soccer.
No, I was playing soccer. We play on the indoor field.
So you were playing soccer at Rugby Australia headquarters in your lunchtime?
Yep, that's right.
All right. James, mate, we need to have a chat about this, I think. Did you play rugby?
I do.
Yep.
I still do at the moment. Played for University of New South Wales, third grade. We're sitting second on the ladder at the moment. Good win last week, 38-0 against St. Pat's away.
Yep.
So it was good.
Nice
really
one. Good. What super team do you follow?
All Aussie teams.
Come on, get it partial.
Flavour of the month right now is Brumbies.
Oh, yeah.
And ever since 2014, I've kind of not been a fan of the Tars. It was good they won, but now it's like,
good one. All right, who's going to create an upset at the World Cup?
Ooh. Uruguay.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Are they playing South Africa?
No, they're not. It's not going to be the
Japan. Oh, you don't reckon?
No.
Anyway, who will win the World Cup?
Wales.
Oh.
Pretty confident Wales get up.
And who's your favourite state in rugby in Australia to deal with rugby-wise, admin-wise?
South Australia.
Yeah, that's the one, mate. I'll give you that $20 later.
Thanks.
Cheers, Pyne.
Thank you.
Thank you, my bro. All right, so that's Pyne.
How good is Pyne?
It's plastic, though.
I got so much time for that boy. He's
Yeah.
great. He is good. So much passion
Oh,
for
yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
Really loves it and just wants
people
as
out
as
there,
everybody
yeah.
does and who works with us in rugby. Just positive influence, and nothing's ever too much for that, man.
Yeah,
I feel like he's got 1,000 things to do.
Yeah.
And whenever you call him up and go, oh mate, can you help me out? It's never like, oh, I can't quite, sorry mate, or like, ignore.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
No,
He's
yeah,
fantastic,
yeah.
fantastic.
Much
guy,
like the rest
so-
of the team there as well,
Oh, very much
Yeah.
so, very much so.
With Frosty, I forgot to mention Frosty and Amy as well. They're big key influences
mate.
in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Shall not forget the two of you.
The two who actually
Yeah.
run the Rugby Explorer platform.
Well, I think
so-
Frosty was at Rugby Australia before Rugby Australia was even at Rugby Australia, right?
Did he laid the cornerstone for the
Probably,
original
I
building?
think,
didn't he?
yeah.
Thank you,
He
Frosty.
was- big shout out to you,
what
my
they
mate.
call it when they break the ground or whatever with the when you start the building. Person who digs it. Anyway, I'm pretty sure there's a black and white photo, or is it? It was brown and white photo in those days of him doing that. But anyway, we love you, Frosty.
Thanks,
Honestly,
mate. Hey.
great work you guys are doing up there. We really appreciate it, man.
All right, cool. So, I think that's just about us, mate.
That's it for the
this
week,
time.
mate.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We're not going to look forward at the matches coming ahead.
No.
So we'll leave round 7 for next week.
Absolutely.
We'll have a look at those coming up.
Stick to Super Rugby this weekend, and
Yeah.
that's it. We will see you all again next. Oh, what we do have
Yes.
is no. We'll do a separate one for that. So we're gonna have to cut that little bit out. Just kidding. I didn't say it.
What do we have? No, tell me what we've got. What is it, Jay?
We're doing it in a different part. We're gonna have a
okay.
separate.
Better
intro for
go
that,
find the other video then.
That's all right. It's coming. I think the other video might come up first.
Probably come
It's
out
gonna
first.
come out. So the other video you've already seen is what we have not already recorded, but have
Yeah.
already
And just
released.
critically talking about, right?
That's
Yeah,
it.
so, yeah.
Absolutely. There we go.
Look,
Right.
look after yourselves on the long weekend.
Keep safe, have fun, relax, sort out the bodies, long soaks in the bath, and relaxing and getting ready for the second part of the season.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. See you
later.
then.
Thanks.